And I'm going to get on Facebook. Mm. All right, you guys, I think that we are live. So just give us a second. We are actually not going to start talking about the actual content until about 10 minutes from now. But right now, you guys can just say you're just backstage with us, and we're just making sure that we have good sound and our audio is good and all of the tech stuff. So if you are here and you are seeing us, just hop on in, say hello, and we are going to make sure that you guys can hear us, because we definitely don't want you to miss out on this amazing information today. So I am going to hop over on Facebook and just make sure that we can see it over here. And then we are going to go ahead and start trying to share this out with groups and everything like that. So give me 1 second. Yes, we are live. Let me check on sound. Yeah, we're good. And I see you guys coming on in. As you come in, can you just let us know that you can hear and see us okay? And let's see, can you guys see? Oh, Scott, there you are. Okay, so I'm going to move this on the gallery view again, because for some reason it's only showing who's talking, and I think it's better if it shows us, but it might just be a Facebook thing that does that, which is okay too. Okay.
Actually, your Facebook pictures are awesome, adorable.
Oh. Well, I appreciate that. I actually do that with my handy dandy. This phone right here actually does. I do all my pictures with this thing. So, yeah. Okay. And guys, we have Scott Wayman here, CEO of Kangarootime. And Scott, thank you so much for being here. I am super excited to get to chit chat with you and learn about your awesomeness that you have over there at Kangarootime. So.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Ashley. So I'm coming to you live from Long Beach, California. So I kind of, I straddle life between two homes. So my home where my wife is and where I feel like my heart is in Long Beach, California. I actually live in this building right there. I'm not sitting outside of my house. This is just a green screen backdrop. And then I spend about 90% of my time when life is not covered with any and all pandemic. I live in Buffalo, New York, which is another place that I love and is near and dear to my heart. And football season's coming, and those Bills fans are so excited about Tom Brady not being in the division anymore. So go Bills, go Bills.
There you go.
No, I'm a lifelong Cowboys fan. That's sacrilegious for me to think positive thoughts about the Bills. But yeah, glad to be here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So why don't we do this, Scott? Is Genevieve, is she nearby, or because what we want to do is go ahead and get it shared. So from your page, do you have a Facebook group or something like that you can share out?
We do. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So she says she's sharing now. So we have a Facebook group called KT Child Care Connect. We encourage everybody to join there. A little bit of history with Kangarootime Child Care Connect. When this all started in March, we decided, okay, childcare centers are not going to want to be a part of our sales efforts, right? Like us calling them and telling them they need to buy software to optimize their business. That's going to get us put on a list of bad actors.
Yeah.
So we internally, Genevieve is our head of marketing. She actually said, Scott, I think now is the time that we forget about growing, we forget about our performance, and we start to think about helping the industry survive. Like survival is key, and our role right now is advocacy. Like we need to be putting out as much content We need to be assisted. So the signature moment there was we started the KT Childcare Connect Facebook group. It grew to 1,000 super quick.
Yeah.
And then around March 15th, we did our first webinar. And Ashley, you've actually helped with one of the webinars. We bring on thought leaders about once a week. And it's been amazing. It's been the most delightful, invigorating part of my career to see this community go from like, who the heck is Kangarootime? Is that like a strange child program from Australia to, okay, we get it. We get these guys love their customers. And then the content that we put together with thought leaders like yourself, with Beth Cannon, Evelyn Knight, Vernon Mason. Vernon Mason session. Do you know Vernon?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. I love him and he's wonderful, but like I had the white knuckles the whole time because I didn't know where he was going with each and every slide. And then he would say, let me tell a story. And I'm like, I'm going to get so fired. You know, our HR is not going to love this. He even told a story about a teacher that got a boob job and I'm crying laughing.
That's interesting.
And how they like, how the children were kind of like, okay, she's fluffier than she used to be, my teacher. So but no, so this has been really, really interesting. And then through all this, you know, building software, we kind of like naturally lean into these feedback loops.
Right.
So you know, from my first day as a founder at my first company, the part that's been most rewarding and the part that seems most organic and natural is, you know, you go to these technical people that can build software.
Yeah.
You go heads down, and then you come out of this hole, or you come out of your veritable fortress, or whatever it is, and then you hand it over to the customer, and you're thinking that they're going to love this. This will be the best thing ever. And really great companies, they iterate on top of that. So they just know that they're going to have to be nimble and change things and get feedback. And a big part of this whole pandemic for us has been shifting from not growing and advocacy and really kind of closing that loop in the intimacy that we have with not just our customers, with everybody, the needs that are there. And then moving very quickly within the product to assure that our centers, so we can be we can be in partnership with them in lockstep, helping them get their centers back open. You know, like we started on April 1st on health checks, and we had it out in 6 weeks. You know, so health checks for teachers or staff and for each student that comes in. So it's been a journey for sure.
Yeah. I know this pandemic has really just put a lot of things in perspective for everybody with, you know, how you want to run your business or how you want to move your business. And just, it's been, it's had its good, but it's also, or it's had its bad, but it's also had its good too, for sure. So, all right. Well, it is actually 1 p.m. Central Standard Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are going to actually go ahead and get into our content. I do see you guys here, and I am going to be watching the comment or the comments down below as well. So, okay. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I will introduce myself, and then Scott will introduce himself. But my name is Ashley Benz. I am the founder and creator of Childcare Business Executive Tools of AshleyBenz.com. My main passion is to really help childcare owners be able to have a better work-life balance, and the vehicle that I use is automation. So, so I'm super glad for you all to be here. And today I am here with Scott Wayman, founder and CEO of Kangarootime. Again, Scott, I am super excited for you to be here, and I know that we have a lot to cover in these next few minutes. So thank you again for being here and offering to bring your awesomeness to the Child Care Business Executives community. So guys, today we are going to be talking about 3 innovative contactless automated tools you should be using in your center right now. And I mean, like we were just talking here, this pandemic has just really, in regards to automation, it has really forced, I think, the childcare industry to move into automation, especially when we're talking about contactless and touch-free and all those kind of things. So we will be definitely getting into that. Before we hop into that, can you guys go ahead and do something for us really quickly? But if I would like to invite you to share, like, and love this video. What that does is that basically pushes the algorithm and it lets everybody on Facebook know that we are here and that if they're not with us, they need to hop on over where we're at. So go ahead and give this video some likes and some hearts and some thumbs up, and share this out if you do know of any child care owner, preschool director that can use this information, which right now I'm going to say that they can. So that would be awesome. Also, you guys, we will be uploading this over on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube, you are watching the replay, but go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and be sure that you subscribe to the channel so you guys can keep contact of when information like this is posted. Okay, so 3 innovative contactless automated tools you should be using in your center right now. And Scott, can you just officially introduce yourself? What is Kangarootime? How'd you get this thing started? Like, give us the scoop.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ashley. So my name's Scott Wayman. I'm the founder and CEO at Kangarootime. We are a leading all-in-one software for childcare and early education centers. We do a few things. So the first thing we do is we automate the business. Ashley, you said it, you're all about automation. As we were starting to build software, I actually did an interesting thing. So I exited my first company and I went and begged a number of owners and operators to see if I could come in and help. And I was very fortunate, had an owner say, you know what, we're kind of reinventing our learning delivery platform. I need to be heads down doing that. You're more than welcome to come in and help. That allowed me to kind of be an operator inside of a center, which was huge. So got an understanding of what the status quo was, what the tools were. And that really led to our first release of products, which was to automate the business and to create automation flywheels within the revenue cycle and within everything that a center does, from collecting documents, registration forms, teacher certifications, any and all operational. We then found that our centers were really spending a lot of time managing ratios in the classroom and managing what happened from a footprint perspective at the point of care. So the most important deliverable of quality at a center is linearly tied to what the teacher does in the classroom. So our next product was, we built kind of like a replacement for tadpoles or Hi Mama. So at point of care, teacher tooling that allows them to be on a tablet, be 10 times as fast as they would be on a paper daily report. It gives them nudges and prompts at point of care to make them like a Harvard graduate. Some like a super sharp resources. So the system reminds them as to when to check diapers, when to administer feedings, if there are feeding schedules. It collects drop-off notes, and I'll show you in just a moment the third thing we do, which is a parent engagement application. So our parent engagement app, it starts with families when new families register. So they get the app experience, and it's a real professional, clean, modern experience to onboarding into your center. And not only that, each of our parent users they enter the app something like between 5 and 10 times a day, where they get pictures, they get updates, they get messages from teachers in the classroom. They get, this is a place where they fill out all their documents, which is another, that contactless
Yeah.
payments, of course, they can make their payments through the app. So, and then the fourth thing we built is kind of like an enterprise layer. So I know most successful childcare operators, they tend to want to grow. And what we found is those of our owners with single sites, they love our platform, but when they need to expand and make their businesses extensible, that's where automation can have a serious impact. So, so that, with that said, I think the state of our industry in regards to automation, there are some things that each center, each organization can really lean into to not only tour better and address, top of the funnel, so your enrollment, but also give parents and the families you serve peace of mind.
Yeah. 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 And I mean, it's automation, I think, has hit all other industries, but ours, I feel like that, we've kind of been behind the times. And so I'm so thankful that Kangarootime reached out, because I am always on the hunt for, okay, anything that I can offer to my community that's going to help put time back into their days. And especially like when you were talking about, expanding, I think one of the key things to expanding, if that's what someone's trying to do, is you definitely have to have that automation. There's no way that you as the owner and director can be in, 5 different places at one time. It just doesn't work like that. So, so absolutely, I love that. So let's jump. I know you talked about the state of our industry right now, but in regards to automation, I mean, obviously, over the last few months, before we started broadcasting, me and you were talking about just this whole year and how crazy it's been. But over the last few months, during these crazy times, centers have been forced into automation really with no notice. I mean, trying to keep up with CDC guidelines and the state guidelines, and making sure that they're doing health checks and temperature checks and all that kind of stuff. And it's really been a whirlwind for a lot of, center owners. Also, this pandemic has just really, brought up some major challenges. And so I know for me, when I used to run my center of 10 years, I understood. So I'm a geek when it comes to automation. Like, I love all things. I am the one in the grocery store that I'm shopping, but I'm also looking at how they're doing things and how they're automating things. So when it comes to actually, having to go back to your center and you see this stuff going on around you, but it's like, how do I bring it into my program? How do I make it happen? So Scott, can you go over just some things that Kangarootime offers, especially right now, that's going to help these center owners be able to automate things when it comes to that contactless and touch-free and all that good stuff?
Yeah. And Ashley, can you allow me to share?
Absolutely. Let's see. Let me make sure one participant, multiple.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, I think the one thing that we learned was today, right now, is one of those perfect inflection points, right? So if your center is reopening, or you've been in reopening mode for the past 3, 4, 5 weeks, this is the time to start and implement new systems. One, your families are going to understand. We had a long product call. Oh, let's see. Can I share yet?
Yeah, I think you should be able to share.
It says host disabled screen sharing.
Okay, let me go into the advanced sharing options and see.
Sure.
Oh, here we go.
Now, kind of back to that. We had a big product meeting this morning, and the guidance from the CDC is something that needs to be interpreted, right? Like, so And then the guidance from each licensing consortium is different. So
Right.
am I able to take temperatures from employees? And what is the personal health information implication? Do I have the systems to properly store that digitally? Um, so those things are super important. Let me see if we can.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay.
Got it.
Hey, and I want to send a quick shout out. I know that everybody is getting back to the new normal. I've been working with a company called childcarehandsanitizer.com. If you need dispensers, these guys have been amazing, and their product, it has been really, it's an impressive product with like all natural. There have been a number of FDA recalls on hand sanitizer. So
Right,
if
right.
they need something, give these guys a look. And they're super. Their thesis is like high touch customer service. So that's one of my first tips.
So it's called
So
Care. Okay, we'll make sure to put their link in the.
Care, and you can get to them at childcarehandsanitizer.com.
Oh, okay.
So super great partner for us. Okay, so let's start out with screening. So we found that contact tracing, uh, chain of custody, understanding. So if a child is sent home with a fever, you need to have the chain of custody that shows you've taken that child's temperature. You also need to know who that child was in a room with. Any person or any child, any staff that child could have had contact with. So when a child is checked in, we'll just so let's start out with you know what, we will start out with door lock. And because what we do here is a little bit different. So I'll take the music out. Can you see that clearly? This is showing
Yes.
our system. Okay, so we have a door lock platform that is contactless, and it allows parents and staff to get into the building without having to use their fingerprint or without having to touch a keypad. So if you have the Kangarootime app, your phone will actually open the door and you can check in and check out a child. So the door lock's going to confirm that you are in fact there and on premise, which is necessary for licensing. Mm-hmm. And then the check-in is done via the phone. So so again, contactless check-in and check-out. It brought to us, we had this system designed. You know, a few of our competitors, you've probably seen it, Ashley, their check-in kiosk is in a stationary place. Each parent has to come in. They have to bio ID in with their fingerprint, which again, that has its own issues. You would have to clean that every time. Also, it prohibits the workflow from being flexible. With this workflow, you can allow parents to check in and let you know that they're there. And when a child arrives, you'll see when we get to what the teachers see on their tablets, the teacher gets a notification and the director gets a notification. So you could have a completely outdoor check-in and check-out or sign in and sign out process. So you're limiting exposure. So we think that's
it's also like a self-service in a way. Yeah.
100%. So yeah, when a child is being, in fact, I'll do it right now on my phone. When a child's being checked in or out, you'll see here, you have a real-time location dashboard. Not only does this dashboard give you a view as to who's checked in. So we're going to go into this classroom right here. And on my phone, you can see I'm in the check-in, check-out module. I just pressed the request to, hang on, to check this child out. So let's just say midday, and you can see there's a bouncing kangaroo on top of the child. So there's total awareness, whereas the state of the market when we started building our products, most schools would use ProCare at the front, and they would bio ID in, and then the teacher had the responsibility of having to align what happened in the management system to what happened in the classroom platform. This, because it's seamlessly integrated and it's one product. There is none of that. There is none of this truing up and spending time comparing your rosters in one system to the user interface in another system. Also, like you said, you can make it self-serve. You can, and then the data you get with chain of custody of, this parent checked the child in, this staff member saw the child at the door and did their health check. And let me just go there. So if we go to the main area, anytime a child checks in, or anytime there's like you can set up health checks for so many hours in between health checks. So if you set up the health check for 4 hours, child checks into school at 8 a.m., the teacher's required to do their health check. And let me just trigger that real quick. So I'm going to check a child in manually. Let's say they came from an after school program, which, by the way, we're seeing so many of our centers, they're hosting school age children as part of what they do, allowing parents to go back to work. So let's just check in a little bet here. So I'm going to check her in and just say she arrived by bus, because you can do this with multiple children in one fell swoop. Once you check her in, you'll see here the system's going to alert you that there needs to be a health check done. So you can see it's going to force you as a staff member to stay compliant with all of your health checks. So you can see here, anything above, you can set the threshold for temperature. And typically the state guidance is showing anything above 100.4 degrees is an issue, is something you need to address. Well, you can set that threshold as low as you'd like at the center level. So from center to center, this can be different. And then you can add your COVID questions. And then once this is done, so that temperature is a bit high. At this center, anybody that comes in over a 100-degree temperature, it sends a notification to the director on staff or the assistant director. So whatever admin is on staff, they're going to get an alert to resolve something. So you can see we've got all these abnormal health checks, and I've got just kind of a pick list or a punch card to resolve all of those. And this would probably be calling the parent and saying, "Hey, your child, we took the intake. The temperature was 103 when they 100.3. It stayed high. We need to do something." And then in this child's file, or you'll be able to see that that's noted. There's a chain of custody. If there's ever any question about it. It's pretty powerful. Same with staff. The only difference with staff is the more feedback we got about staff and HIPAA and personal health information we didn't necessarily create a setting so that you could note the actual temperature. So you mark whether it's high or normal. Okay. And then that has its own set of business logic around how you treat that. But
so you can set this up to prompt your staff to do these health screenings throughout the day as many times as you want that set up for your center.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
So
really like that a whole lot. Yeah.
yeah, we did. I just looked at the data this morning. So most of our centers have it set for one time per day, and it's set for when the child checks in. But we're seeing a pattern. Many of our centers are doing it every 3 to 4 hours, which is interesting. But yeah, you know how fluid a child's health is,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. And
and
I mean,
getting some.
that's awesome as a mom myself, a 5-year-old. I mean, she started back school and she came home with a fever. And so, that would be a great feature. I can see a parent loving that, just to know that, hey, your child was running a fever at this time, or something like that. Maybe they don't have to come home, but maybe it's the fact that, just kind of keep a watch when they do come home to see if they're continuing to run a fever. So I absolutely love that. And the door thing, that was what, when I saw that, when you guys were doing the demo with me, and the phone activated door, I was just like, that is amazing, and I absolutely love that. And I just was like, oh, I wish I could try that out myself, just on my phone here. But that is,
So one of our employees, he lives in Buffalo, and he's now our resident expert. He's one of our salespeople. So we installed it at his house, and he loves it. He loves it. But
yeah.
you know, he does have to remember to keep his key in case somebody in the demo system wants to kick him out and lock him out of his own house. But no, that access control feature is huge. And as many of you are out there, as you're touring different, as you're giving tours, I know so many of you lean into peace of mind and well-being. I mean, that you're a mother of a 5-year-old, and I know to you that's of utmost importance to know that your child is in a place that is safe and that has thought out their security protocols and their authentication.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So the health checks are also for staff. So if I'm clocking in, so if I get to the center and I'm an employee that clocks in, it will actually send an alert again to the director on staff that says, I need a health check. So I need to get my temperature taken. Again, these are things that, so it says one employee needs a health check. These are things you can set for multiple times per day. Looky here, it's got my middle name. And you can do these at scale too. So if you take 5 temperatures really fast, you can take all of them together. And again, for HIPAA reasons, and if you're absolutely bound and determined to put a temperature value here, we'll allow you to do that. But not normal versus normal is all that's needed. Symptoms. So it's super quick. And again, you can do a health check for 10 employees in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah. And then this is obviously exactly what would be needed if there was an outbreak in your center and you need to do that contact tracing.
So yeah, that's a great point. Let me show you. There's actually a report for contract tracing. So we call it child tracking, or it's a report. So you have child tracking and you have teacher tracking. So if there's a child in question, we can go back and look at every single space they've been in from the beginning of time. Because remember, when a child is clocked in, the teacher accepts them and either confirms that they're in the room or they push the child to the right room. And then when you go out to recess, let me just show you real quick. When you go out to the playground or anywhere, Kangarootime is designed to keep the chain of custody and keep real-time location. It also does things like it lets you know when a room is out of ratio. So I know that this room has just fallen out of ratio. So I'm going to add myself to this room and right size the ratio. And if we're going to be in this classroom and I've got my tablet, and we're going to migrate the entire classroom out to play area 4,
Right.
we'll just let the system know. So each of those transitions is tracked.
Okay.
So inherently inside our reporting, you have contact tracing, where that child's been, each child that child was in contact with, the staff members that were in that classroom. Even if it was for like a quick transition, the system will prompt you to take a quick attendance. So not only do you have real-time location, you have all these confirming confirmations for each child, which is lots of data.
Okay. Let's see here. Jason asked, does that work on our bathroom doors as well? We have some parents that wait and try to use our bathrooms in the morning to make us stinky.
Okay. Actually, yeah.
Real life stuff here.
It's real life stuff. No. So the great thing about our partner Kesey, when we were building all this, and what we didn't realize, so the typical school was set up with a single entry point at the door.
Right.
And then our school started setting up like these 3-door, 5-door configurations. And we were like, what is going on? So in the app, nobody's done this quite yet. I think at the most we have a 4-door configuration. But you can put a door lock, a door reader on any door. So we have centers that don't like any parents in their infant room. So they only authenticate that door. So you touch your phone to the back of the door, you get in the front door, you go to the infant room, you click the back of the phone to the infant room door reader. It gives you a red light because you aren't allowed in there. You could very easily do the same thing for those that want to do crazy stuff in your bathroom. So yeah, great question.
Yeah, actually, it is a good, because right now, you probably don't want a lot of people having to come in and use your bathroom, maybe just keeping it for the staff only. So Jason, thank you for that question.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if there's any. I don't think there's any more questions. Let's see. And guys, if you do have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. And I know that Scott will be more than happy to get those answers for you guys. So, okay, so we've talked about the phone activated door and also the health checks. What other features that Kangarootime offers, Scott, that would be great for this time? The contactless, the no touch, and just anything else that I know during the demo, wasn't there something, or maybe it was a clock in that. I was thinking of something that you guys said in regards of like parents can actually do it from their phone.
Yes. So a few things. First of all, payments. Payments are, parents are getting daily reports. They're getting this rich multimedia experience without having to handle those half sheets or that triplicate piece of paper for the daily report. And look how beautiful this is.
Yeah. And just to jump in real quick on the daily reports, you guys, right now, this is a time for daily reports. I know that at least for my daughter's school, we can't even go inside. So I had to drop her off at kindergarten and I couldn't even go in there. And I'm just going to let you guys know those daily reports are just like, if you guys are not doing them, you need to be doing them. And the paper is just, you got to get off of the paper stuff. It's just, it's us as moms, we don't want all the paper. I throw away papers every day. I love my daughter, but it's just too much. So yeah, go ahead, Scott. I just had to jump in there and just
Funny enough, yeah. When we were building Kangarootime, the classroom module, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law had just had their second child. So I get in the car with them, and his car was super messy. I mean, they were just all over the place, and his wife had just given birth. And I looked down in his floorboard, and there were like 25 crumpled up daily reports that were down there. And the conversation was like, okay, are you reading these? And then I pulled out my demo and I said, your center has got to do this, because I know you will flip through your phone at night and you'll catch up on these things.
Absolutely.
So another big piece is like orientation. You want your parents to be to understand what's going on in the school, what the schedule are, when crazy hair day is, you know, all the big events. And then payments are huge. I know many of our centers that are new centers, they come to us from legacy systems, but you don't want your families coming in and having to hit the tuition express terminal. You want them to be able to seamlessly pay for their tuition and connect auto pay. Again, I mean, these contactless solutions at a larger school where you might be taking 300 payments a week, this is just mitigating one, time. So encoding all those checks and running to the bank. But being contactless is super important.
Yeah. We do have a question from Misty, one of my top fans. Misty says, can you use this for a small in-home daycare too?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Now, many of our tools have been built for the large multi-site enterprise accounts, and many of our centers are kind of like a single center-based system, but we have plenty of in-home customers that use pieces of the system. And again, being in a time of the pandemic, we all know that you have families that are coming in and out of your home, and to mitigate as much of that. In fact, I was at one of our employees' houses the other day, and we picked up her foster child, and I felt so. They wanted to give me a tour of their home center. It was beautiful, and I felt so unequipped. I mean, I had a mask on, but I felt like it's my social responsibility to be contactless here and doing the tour. But absolutely, I mean, you got you folks that are doing this out of your homes. God bless you. You're doing the yeoman's work. But yeah.
Okay, good deal.
So another area, Ashley, that we haven't touched on in the world of like contactlessness and being efficient is documents. So we've learned that every child you enroll, you're demanding like 150 pieces of signed paper from your families. We want you to digitize that. So we have a full document manager, and it helps you deploy each and every one of your documents in a digital way. So if you have documents for employees, not only does it handle collecting those documents, but it also handles the workflow and all the reminding business logic. So if I know every 24 months, your employees have to renew their CPR certifications. Well, rather than you keeping a paper binder or a calendar trying to keep track of that, the system does that for you. So if you have an employee document that you create called CPR certification, and you require it and you put an expiry on it, the moment that the employee signs on, they will be asked for each and every one of their required documents. Wow. If they don't turn them in, we can do things like not let them clock in.
Right.
We can send them so many nagging reminders, you don't have to do it. So we find that our centers, not only are they in better compliance and they feel better about where they're at with
Yeah.
document collection, but the workflows carve out so much work in having to collect that, put it in a file. Because the system, once you get a new document in, it will send you a notification. Because let's face it, like you're going to have, as soon as a document is uploaded, it will tell you you need to go verify a document. And if a parent has a requirement to turn in an asthma plan by September 1st, and they took a picture of a Target receipt so that they could clock in and clock out, you can reject that. So the system has all these safe components, these safety first, user-centric design elements,
Yeah.
so that you collect all those documents. Again, just being contactless, and these were features that's a particular feature that's existed for years, but we found our centers have really leaned into being paperless.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, now is the time. If you are not automating, now would be the time to do that, right? 2020 is the time to do anything that you want to do, because, we just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I would definitely say now is the time to do this. This is the time, if you are not paperless, if you don't have anything in place in regards of, how you're doing health checks and all those things, this would be the time to do it. And Scott here has gotten you guys a solution for sure. So as we kind of wrap up here, Scott, I know you guys right now are actually doing a promo. So can you share this amazing promo that you guys have running right now?
Yeah, first of all, so, again, back to advocacy, our goal here is to, whether you partner with one of our competitors or us, we want to see every single early education business owner thrive. So there are tools right now out there. We just want you to lean into those tools and really optimize the business. So please go to our blog. It's kangarootime.com/blog.
Okay.
And there's a selecting your CCMS software guide. So there's a guide for selecting your childcare management system. We encourage everybody to download that particular guide. And it's really thoughtful, like a few years back, I had a customer jump on the phone and they were trying to be nice, and I have operating experience, and the quote was, "Hey, I've run a center for 20 years. You're not going to be able to tell me anything I don't know." And my rebuttal, I was trying to be respectful, was, "Well, I've helped more than 1,000 people purchase this. So, and I'm somewhat oriented as to what's going on in the market. So use the people in the industry that have experience and that have your interest at hand." Ashley, you being one of those, you've done so much consulting and helped people build their businesses, and your goal, your ethos is automation and democratizing childcare for every family in the world. So those tools are out there. But yeah, the promo, again, we're running it through September 30th. We know that childcare centers have been hit especially hard by COVID-19. We have a great promo for this. If you sign up with us before September 30th, you receive 50% off your fees for the first year, and then 25% off after that. So, typically we replace 2 to 3 systems when we go into, let's say we go into a center, we'll typically replace Tadpoles and ProCare, and then maybe with our scheduling platform, something like Sling or When I Work. So you're looking at 3 systems being replaced, and every single time, if you do the cost comparison to replace those 3 systems, our system will save money, right? Like the the financial value is there. Now you really save. Now is the time to really lean into this.
Yeah.
We have such a love and respect and like this infatuation with our owners and operators. So being able to do this is kind of an amazing inflection point for us.
Yeah. And guys, I want to say this, but I get contacted all the time from different companies and software companies, to they want me to promote their stuff. And so I am very picky about what I promote. And I will tell you guys that when Genevieve reached out to me from Kangarootime and, I went through the demo, I was blown away. So I am recommending Kangarootime to you guys. And you guys know that, when I recommend something, it is something that, I would use myself and something that I highly recommend. So, Scott, is there any last things you want to show? Anything last, and then we'll wrap up here?
Yeah, so just two more quick things as we think about great businesses, great operators in our space. One, you think about teams that have great organizational structure. And a big part of running an efficient operation is staffing. And we all know how challenging staffing has been over the past, 20 weeks or, the past 6 months. So our platform, some of our new products are dedicated to managing scheduling and staff and time off, things like that, really understanding who you schedule when and where if you have multiple locations. So just want to make sure that when you engage with us, ask about our scheduling products, and then communication. So the Kangarootime staff app is brand new. This allows you to kind of communicate with staff, your team, your families in a way that's super modern. So if you've ever used Slack or Teams or HipChat or any of the new, Kangarootime offers you that as well. And this gives you the ability to send out beautiful, Giphies with, even with the Buffalo Bills, but beautiful newsletter type communication. So, and more than that, our team is here to help and be advocates. So, if you'd like to just contact us and learn more about resources, we have an entire marketing team that has shifted from building our customer acquisition strategy to just helping early educators. And we're finding that to be super valuable. But no, that's it, Ashley. I thank you for the opportunity. It's always great to see you. Always great to share content, but great job.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen, one more thing I do want to say as well. And I think that the ultimate goal for me, for you guys, is a great work-life balance. So I know when I owned and operated my center, I worked a lot, and to be a mom and a wife and then having to run a business all day long, you literally are just like, when you get home, it's just like, okay, I have to go into second shift. I've got to do these other things. And I have a husband who definitely jumps in there with me, but the ultimate goal for you guys is for you to have a great work-life balance. And so having a system like this in your program is going to allow you to do that. Scott has showed you guys it's all in one. It can replace a lot of these other different softwares that you're using. And also something I just kind of thought of as well, Scott, is that this is something that can grow with. So if you are home daycare and you're wanting to eventually expand, you can start this off in your home, and then it can grow with you as your business grows, as your child care center grows. So
actually, the most rewarding part of what we do, we have a couple of customers that I think of immediately, but they came to us and they said, well, we're not an in-home center right now. We're licensed for 6, but our vision is we're going to be huge and amazing. And to see over the last 5 years, we've had one of our customers grow from 6
Wow.
total licensed to 5 locations. Big
Wow.
like license for 200 locations. So yeah, and again, we want to be part of that journey. We think that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. Well, again, Scott, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure. What we're going to do, guys, is we are going to leave any links that Scott has mentioned down in the comments below, especially the kangarootimeblog.com. You guys can go over there and check that out. And this is the time, guys. This is the time right now to start automating, and Kangaroo Time has that solution. So again, Scott, thank you so much for being here. You guys, thank you for being here. I'll see you guys on the next video, whenever that's going to be. And reach out if you do have any questions. You can reach out to me, Scott. We're all here. We are all here to help you guys. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.